After years of waiting, Tournament Arc Extra Time Issue 5 is finally available. It's called Welcome to Battle Hill, and we invite you to join the biggest sports school in the country, where you can meet the best teams and teachers, find the best hangout spots in the local area, and then use them in your own games of Tournament Arc, the sports anime RPG. It's now available in Biscuit Fun's itch page, which is in the description of the podcast. Welcome to Game Soup, it's a game design podcast where we Fridays in a pot and see what's cooking. I'm Chloe Montgomery and I'm joined as ever by Kayla Dice. How are you this week, honey?
I'm so tired. I'm so tired this week. I've been doing so much, and I'm at the midpoint of a week that is only getting busier. But yeah. Other than that, I'm feeling positive. I keep having a thing of like, I'm so overwhelmed and stressed. But also, like, I feel so calm about that. I don't know, compared to like maybe a year ago where I was really calm. I was really overwhelmed and stressed and needed to like take time off from stuff, and I was like, I'm at the edge. I'm at the edge. I'm not at the edge here. I'm just tired.
I'm also tired, but I don't have any excuses. So
I'd posit we maybe have some of the same underlying big excuses, but that could be an off-pod mention. Actually, because this comes out Friday, where I will be in a couple of hours. I'm going to go to Nottingham because I'm going to go to the Weird Hope Engine exhibition, zine fair thing there. I think I am going to like give some books to be sold there, either with David Blandy or with Laurie O'Connell. But mainly I'm just there to hang out. But I don't know, if you're all in and around there and you see me and you're like, I want to say hi and also congratulate you on 67 episodes, 70, this is episode 70, of 70 solid episodes of Game Soup, then feel free to do that, because I'm actually very friendly and nice, and I like when people say hello to me.
It's been said, Kayla's quite nice.
I'm so likable. I have a game idea or a game title that came to me via sleep deprivation.
Okay. Sleep. I thought you had it in a dream. No, it's sleep deprivation.
No. Yes. Oh, no. On Monday, when I was running all over the city to various hospitals and stuff, I was just like scrolling Blue Sky and I saw Games Omnivorous post about a new game they have coming up called The Job. But in my state of just being so tired, I saw the title and for some reason read it as The Job. And what I now want to figure out is what is the game which is called The Job?
Well, it's like jobs when you've like completed a job. It's like, yep, sorted, job's jobbed. So
well, that's in a past tense. I was thinking like the job as in like the Italian job or the bank job.
Oh,
it's like, what's the job?
I think it's like, are you heisting an office building for something?
Yeah, or is it a corporate espionage game?
I feel like that's less exciting.
True.
It's like, oh yes, we're going to be releasing a new product soon, so you want to sell your shares in whatever. Like, whoa, oh my god.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, some kind of heist game at like office stuff. Or if we maybe want to go the idea of you're heisting your own workplace.
Yeah, that's more exciting.
Like,
because yeah.
It's like one of those shows, like I think like Channel 4, like no actually, but it's like one of those things where it's like people realize their employer is fucking them over, so they're like, we're gonna heist them. So I think like the character creation is fun because I think it also involves I think the character creation works like you create your office floor and then also you map out like the office building you're gonna fucking heist as you create your characters and your relationships, as well as like creating the company and how they fucking suck.
Yeah. So, are we setting this at you, the player's place of work, or is it a fictional office building? Because I
I
think
think
like
it is a
setting it.
fictional office building which where your characters all work together.
Okay.
I think a heist game where it's your own workplace probably wouldn't work because you could only play it with people you work with. And then it might also be considered, causing some dissent. You might get called in by HR if you keep trying to propose playing a game about robbing the thing.
I just think it could be exciting. I like games where you play in places in the real world. It's
I
like
think yes,
whoever
but
the
I think
GM is creates like 3 or 4 characters that are based on other people they work with, and it's like, oh well, this person's good on popcorn, but they're not so good at cleaning, so maybe they get a bonus doing like food stuff. But like, I don't know.
I feel like this just feels too personally messy. Just like making up people who like based on like as a player, it's like, oh, helping embellish details about my GM's workplace, which are all real people, but I don't know them. I feel like if a game is heisting a real life place based on something from the players, it needs to be something that's more. Maybe it's like a thing based on like a past. Like what I mean is like you could be like, oh, to be played with people you went to school with, if it's say something about heisting your university or your
Yeah,
school or
okay.
something, or to be played with people you did work with but don't anymore. If you are doing a job or something, like it's very much about reminiscing, and I feel like this does pitch your characters at you.
Yeah. But okay, so what was your pitch? You're heisting an office building, and each person like makes a floor of the office or something.
Mine was like it's just I think character creation there. If you're heisting an office building and you are like more fictional characters. I think the fun
Yeah.
thing is that like character creation probably involves building like your employer and why they're scummy, as well as building the office you're going to rob, as well as building like your characters and how they know each other and what their workplace dynamic is.
Yeah, no, I like that, and it's like you build up the relationships, and oh, somebody's having a party today, so we could use that as a distraction, and
Yeah, I think it's got like I think it reminds me of like the kind of intensive world building you do for like a Monster Hearts game in a session zero.
yeah,
Um, what kind of system would you want to play this with?
I think I don't know if it's like roles or something. I was thinking like a I don't know. Like I
The
think
thing,
the main thing of play is like you have a big floor plan of your office building, and it's like right, so we need to walk along this bit, and then the GM's like but then that's where the boss sees you, and it's like oh well, then we use this cubicle. I don't know, like I'm just trying
yeah.
to think of like a heist sequence in a movie, but
Well, I was like, this actually just got me because I think the interesting thing about this game is that like it's definitely kind of like a one-shot heist game, or if you are making it not a one-shot heist game, I think it's a game that really evolves because I think it's like you can only heist your own workplace once. So then it's like it's either a one-shot game, in which case, yeah, I think it's. Have you ever like Stealing the Throne?
no,
Stealing the Throne's really good. That's like a one about heisting a mech, but that involves card play, and you also like have more emergent characters. So I could see a version where it's a Stealing the Throne hack. The but yeah, I think if it was more dice based and more you like building your characters ahead of time, you'd need to, I guess, have an idea of like what is this as a one shot like. Is it just a very involved one shot? Like, is this kind of like a long one shot where you're expected to need kind of like 5 hours for it to be able to both do character creation and play out the heist? Or is it a game where you are very much gonna, like, the heist is only the beginning, but then you are, say, playing the aftermath. You're now characters who are connected by crime, and what do you do with your winnings?
Yeah. I think that could be like a spin-off or like a second part in the book. Like part however many pages is for the heist, and you get another set of pages for like the aftermath, and it's like living your life.
I actually do kind of like the idea of this being a game which is sold as one thing, of like, this is the game where you heist your office, and then there is the fact that, like, it contains 2 more games in it. Because
Yeah.
it's like, actually, you've now moved from the heist, and you are now playing out the game of, like, hiding your winnings and dying down the heat. That is a game that is these are the rules for this game, and they're kind of different from the rules for the actual first game. And then maybe there's a third game that is something else as well.
Yeah, it's like each session you use a different like system or something, but you use the same character throughout each one, and it's like, oh well, I built my character
Yazivas.
really good for heisting, but they're not any good at like surviving the heat. So it's like you gotta like try and build like a real person.
Yeah, this is a very Yazeva's Bed and Breakfast inspired game, but with the plot and energy of a British crime comedy drama. I think I'd say job's jobbed.
Job's job.
The job. I had also a pitch for a new segment, which I thought about trying to come up with a fun name for, but I didn't because I've been busy. I've explained the segment to you off camera. Did you come up with a fun name at all, or?
No, but my brain's saying something about portmanteaus, so.
I was going to say like quick bites or something, or snacks to go. So the idea is, like, last week we did a bunch of quick games for our, like, quick, horny episodes. And then the idea I had here about thinking about, like, quicker games, like riffing on different ideas, was that we go to a random word generator like usual, each get up just one word, quickly create, like, a small game pitch, and then one of us changes our word, and we loop on that and evolve it.
Yeah.
So I've got a word up. Do you have a word?
Let me reload. Yes, I have boat.
I have tread. So it's a game about boats that walk.
Oh, see, I was thinking it's like you are on the beaches of Normandy and your boats suddenly have army tank treads and you run your boats up the beaches of Normandy. I don't know, like the all-terrain vehicle, 19.
Yeah, I feel it's either an all-terrain vehicle thing, yeah, like boats that are not boats, some kind of Sonic Transform racing thing. I think this is a game entirely built around like this cool hypothetical vehicle that is either a walking boat like a mech or some kind of all-terrain thing. And then it's just like we've done some setting stuff where it's like, how has this vehicle changed the world? And you're these vehicle riders and have to deal with it. What are we changing, tread or boat?
I will reload. Population.
Population tread. I think this is a game about a sporting academy.
Okay.
So
I've never heard of a game like that before.
Yeah. This is a tournament arc. This is tournament arc. Or if this is maybe this is about like specifically maybe it is about like athletics and like training for Olympics, but there's not a team. Like maybe it is about the fact that
it's like you're all training for the Olympics in however many years, and you're all kids and you're all sort of rivals because it's only like a single person sport. It's like you're training for the 100 meters or something, and it's like, well, we can't all be the best, but like we have to train together, so it's like building up your rivalries to like train each other better. And
yeah, I think it's like a mean tournament arc. Like,
yeah,
It's what if Tournament Arc was about sports where the power of friendship, has been nerfed. Do we want to change tread now? Should I reload?
Yes, go ahead.
Assertive and population.
It's about being politicians.
Bleak.
And you have to convince the other players for silly things. No, wait, we did that game in like episode 2.
I don't know. I feel like I can't think of anything that's not too bleak if we stick with politicians. So I'm like assertive population.
It's about a revolution. The population are asserting.
That can also work, yeah, which is not so bleak. There are a lot of revolutionary games. I don't know if I immediately have a.
I think you don't
Obvious
play
thing.
as the revolutionaries. You play as the people back at the commune or whatever, and you're like trying to work out, well, what do we need for keeping us alive? Like, we need more clean clothes. Can we find some food? Can we like ransack the local supermarket to like get some food? But it's like, are we trying to be a violent revolution, or are we trying to be like peaceful, or what? And it's like your actions also influence the rest of the revolution.
You want to make a Mousewife to some kind of Void Heart Symphony game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's good. Are we swapping out population now?
Yeah, what have I got? I have therapist.
Assertive and therapist. Is this another game where you create a therapist in your brain, or?
I think it's wish fulfillment where a therapist actually helps you.
A wish fulfillment where the therapist does it for you, like instead of.
It's like, you need to sort out your relationship with your mother, and I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to go to your mother's house and start shouting at her until she respects you.
Yeah, character creation is you improvise a dialogue. It's a 2-player game where you improvise a dialogue between a therapist and a patient, and then you create this scenario. It's vaguely just almost storytelling where the therapist gets overly too involved to like really go out of their way to fix it. And I am aware, I think we have pitched a licensed game version of the Apple TV Plus show Shrinking, starring Jason Segel, developed by Bill Lawrence. So I'm excited to get that Apple TV money, personally.
I do not know a single person who has Apple TV.
No, I only know people who pirate shows that are on Apple TV. I know loads of people watching Severance. I don't know anyone who has an Apple TV subscription. Sticking with therapist, swapping out assertive, coffin.
Your therapist is giving your eulogy at your funeral, and you have to make up the speech that your therapist would say at your funeral.
I feel this is not a game, this is an improv prompt.
Isn't that all games? That's all games, but with rules attached.
Ooh, are you starting some discourse here?
I'm starting discourse.
Coffin, therapist. Yeah, well, we need to attach rules to that. Or I feel like, is there maybe something where... Oh, maybe this is like a therapist for ghosts.
Okay.
So it is someone who has to help people move on.
Their final thing that is keeping them cling to the world so they can go to the afterlife. Yeah, okay, I like that.
But like the gimmick of it is, it has to be therapy. So you're not allowed to interfere. You're not allowed to like get someone closure afterwards. You either need to help them move on just of their own accord, like make peace with it. That maybe becomes a very in-depth conversational game. Or your therapy often involves like giving exercises to a ghost to allow them to like be different kinds of ghosts. It's like, I want to try and send a message to them, but like I can only appear in mirrors. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to do these exercises with you. Yeah. And that's going to allow you to be a bit of a poltergeist. I I think in a weird way, maybe it's almost like a resource management game.
Go on.
Like, in terms of, like, maybe it comes with sort of, like, almost cards of, like, oh yeah, you give this exercise to this patient and they can do this thing, but that means they're going to need to, like, trade you something.
Yeah,
I think there is a game. Yeah.
You only have so many services in the National Haunting System to, like, help a certain amount of ghosts each week.
Oh, well, actually, when I was briefly thinking that, I was like, what is this game mechanically? Because what I feel we've pitched is a great sitcom premise. And I'm not sure how gamey it is. But now I'm like, actually, maybe the game just leans into that. And, like, it is the sitcom premise. Like, maybe it's like a work con. So you're all the therapists and your patients are just guest stars who you give advice to. And you maybe come out. And maybe it's like, I don't know. I saw Avery Alder has a new game that has been crowdfunding, which is like sitcom focused. So maybe when that comes out, like, read through that, maybe, yeah, or just take some inspiration from other kind of like sitcom focused games, but it just has this really odd, overly specific pitch of
it's your Zaberster in a funeral home and you can talk to ghosts.
That also works. Yeah, I really like the idea though of you having to be therapists. Like, you're not, and like specifically,
yeah,
that's
you're also
all you get to do.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to do any of the ghost detective shit. You just need to be like, okay, well, how about we try these breathing exercises? And I think that's going to allow you to, like, they're mental breathing exercises.
Oh, okay.
I need you to try and engage with the program if we're going to make any progress here.
So I just think about breathing?
Yeah, I mean, in the way you think about moving your hands.
But that just happens, but I don't breathe.
But also, your hands don't touch things, but you still move them. It's all a bit of a sort of psychological perspective, Clarence.
I don't understand how being a ghost works.
No, exactly. Honestly, none of us do. The important thing is just to feel things out. So try something that feels close to breathing. Can you smell?
I think I do smell. I don't know if I can smell. I think I can smell dust and perhaps cats.
That's good. Okay, so in this case, follow the smells and focus on taking smells in, whether that's linked to an environment. And, exploring an environment and making a link there can help us make that jump from a unfinished business ghost into a local tourism ghost, if that's something that you wanted to do as part of your long-term goals.
I see.
So this is the game. That's the game. We played a bit of the game. Or I don't know. You play scenes like that, and then you have your own personal drama, and there's an A plot and B plot, because I think it is, really a sitcom game in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We can finally remove therapist.
I think I'm happy with that.
With that episode.
I think I made a really good joke with National Haunting System. You didn't really react to that enough.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the National Haunting Service. It's what.
Oh, that's good.
It's what gives the ghosts the resources they need to.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. So, what were our games from the Snacks to Go we got?
We had Boat Tread, which I think is all-terrain vehicle game.
Sonic's Transforming Racing.
Sonic and Sega. Yeah. Population Tread, which is Tournament Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
Assertive Population, which is Therapy.
Mousewife for Revolutionaries.
That's what it's called. Revolutionaries. Assertive Therapist.
That was the 2-player game of a therapist who gets overly involved. I think I said it was Apple TV shrinking the game.
And then we had National Haunting Service. So that's the show this week, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. What was your favorite of those to wrap us out of the segment before we go?
I think National Haunting Service, I could see myself writing that one.
Yeah.
I can see the logo in my head. I can see the cover.
Yeah, I could also see the logo. I imagine it's very close to another logo.
To a
I
sort
think,
of illegal sort of action.
yeah, I think that was probably my favorite game. I could also see myself out of the quick bites making something like the job.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if I'd do a big work focused game at a point in my life where I'm like not gonna work again. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening to Game Soup. You can follow us individually on socials, Ratwave Kayla or Plumtree Chloe in most places. And see you next week.
Yeah. Go buy Extra Times episode 5. We love you.
Oh yeah, you did plug that?
I'm gonna put
No,
it
we
at
just
the
talked
start.
about it off air.
I'm gonna put it at the start. You've already heard it.
You've already heard it. Goodbye.
Bye bye.